We are back for another beautiful Monday. Monday Live. I'm excited to be with you guys today. Blessings, blessings, beautiful brethren. Alas, it is the will of the heavens that we should meet again on this blessed Monday morning to ignite the week with passion, purpose, and positivity. And I am your favorite host, your favorite actor, rapper, filmmaker, ace of all trades, the modern Renaissance man, Ace Anderson. And as always, I am here as your personal guide through the twists and turns of creativity, of entrepreneurship, and the art of manifesting a life that's not just worth living, but passionately celebrating with every breath. And I want to extend a special shout out to all of you early risers joining in, because it is your dedication to starting the day with intention and positivity that makes this community extraordinary and also your life extraordinary. And as we stand on the threshold of a new week, let's start off by taking a deep breath. Inhale possibility. Exhale doubt. Yes, yes, yes. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. It's a lovely thing to be able to do this every morning, every Monday, and I am excited to talk a little bit with you about organization, about getting your life organized, because that's a big thing that I keep coming up across, and it is something that I think I oftentimes put aside because it doesn't feel like it's the most important thing that I should be doing right now. You know, it feels like there's a lot of other things that I could be doing and should be doing, and oftentimes that takes precedent, or that takes priority. And so I have decided, though, that because this thing keeps coming up every single time I work on a new project, every time I start something new, I feel like my ideas are all over the place. And as an ace of all trades, as someone who has his hand in acting, has his hand in music, and all sorts of other things, it is really important for me to just make sure that my life stays organized. And I discovered a new app, you all. I discovered a new app called Notion, and it's a very powerful app that I am really, really excited to start using, to implement, to create a visual database where I can easily access all the information that I need to. And at first I wasn't too sure about it. I felt like I had a good organization structure, and I was able to get my life, relatively organized. I'm a pretty organized person, especially with my files. I use Google Drive. I've been able to manage all of my files in a really healthy way for a good amount of time. I've split my life up into 5 life buckets, categories. I have personal, acting, creative, business, and then production and fun. And those 3 areas pretty much house everything that I do. So personal includes all of my family stuff, health, wellness, anything that is personal to me, like exercising. It's good for my health, right? In my mental sanity. And then we have acting, obviously, which is me as a performer, as a creator, and I like to use that because that has all of my aspects of creating, of performing, that acting jobs, music jobs, so many different types of gigs, and so I like to keep I like I like to keep that as well. That's one area, and then I have my creative, which houses all of my business stuff. So any of the businesses that I own, operate, all the admin work, anything that I do there, that is included into my third category of creative business, and then I have my production category, which is all of the things where I am producing my own projects. So the difference between creative and business and production is that creative business, that is where I am typically working for another person, right? Or it's the administrative work around having to if I was to produce a film, right? So obviously my my production company is one of my businesses, so it may seem like it falls under both categories, but it's more so that the administrative side is what goes into the creative business category, and then any of the actual producing, if I was to create a film, then all of that goes into the fourth category, which is production. And I like to keep it that way because it just helps me kind of understand. And like for my calendar, I like to be able to put these into different colors. I have my 5 different colors that I use. Which is my light blue. It's all the brand colors, so I've split them up into my brand colors. Acting is red, creative business is purple, and then production is yellow, and then finally fun is green. And I don't typically use green all that much, so even though my life is very fun, I don't use green to schedule things out, so it doesn't like take away from my like brand aesthetic when I'm creating my projects. And so that's how I've split up my life, and I was able to get my calendar to properly show the things that I needed to do, but I still felt very unorganized because I had like documents, right? So I need to do a lot of writing for what I do. If I'm creating a comedy video, right, or if I'm creating a film, or if I'm writing a poem, or if I'm creating a marketing campaign, and I need to write the emails out, then I have all these documents in different places, and I was previously using Google Docs, and I thought that that was a good method, but I found that I wasn't able to really organize it the way that I needed to if I wanted to actually get the things done that I wanted to get done. And so like like while I love Google Docs, and it's pretty good, it's really good for like sharing documents and collaborating with other people, it's not really the most efficient for actually organizing your thoughts and organizing your ideas. And so I recently discovered Notion, and that truly changed everything for me. That changed the game. So if you're not familiar with Notion, it is a document database app. So it basically brings Excel and Docs together into one, and creates a system where you can basically just house documents within each other, and then create databases, then tags that call out each thing. So then you can sort them and do all sorts of stuff. So I've been really diving deep into that, and that's been really helpful for me. And I think honestly everyone should use it. But right now I am actually in the process of creating templates for actors, for designers, for production managers, for producers, for even other traditional career paths like nurses and lawyers, right? And so I'm gonna be creating this because I think everybody really needs to get organized. It's if you organize your life, you can ace your life, and I truly believe that. And so it's really important for me to create this element for everyone to be able to to be able to have their life on track and to be able to see where your life is, because that's a big problem, right? Like, you want to be able to see your life as it's coming, and you want to be able to organize it in such a way that when you create something, you know where to find it, you know exactly where to look for it, right? In this digital age, we have all of these documents, we have all of this stuff, and oftentimes it just like gets lost in the abyss. And so we don't want any more of that, right? We want to be able to find our stuff, and I'm gonna help you do that. So my first recommendation is to split your life up into these 5 priorities, 5 area buckets, where we're essentially using the para method. And that's Grayson's food. We're essentially using the para method, and the para method is an acronym, PARA. It stands for Projects, Areas, Resources, and Archive. So essentially, projects are a collection of tasks that lead to a certain goal, right? A certain desired outcome. And so areas are a little bit wider. Areas are a section of your life, right? Basically a collection of projects, right? That has a certain goal. And then so these are kind of like life buckets. And then you have lastly resources, or not lastly, but then you have resources. And in resources, that you can think of it more so like interests. These are areas of interest, but they don't necessarily have any tasks associated with them. It's like, for instance, I'm in capoeira, right? And it's not like I don't have a project or a task or anything associated with capoeira. It's just like, I'm in capoeira, I go to class, I'm interested in it, I'd collect a bunch of maybe notes, I'd collect a bunch of ideas about capoeira, but it's not necessarily a project oriented section of my life. And so then very lastly, you have archive, which archive is like a big library for everything that you've ever done, and you want to be able to put that into a trash can, or just put it away so that you're not having to see it all the time. And it can be out of the way, but if you need to access it, you can still go back and access it through your archive. So an archive is literally an archive. If you're familiar with that, or if you ever worked for like a library, right? It's like a library where you can house all of your ideas. You can house anything is not top of mind. And so so I've been creating this system that can work for actors, that can work for musicians, that can work for writers and comedians. And I really feel like this is very helpful, because I think a lot of people that get very stressed out when it comes to organizing their lives and trying to keep up with the digital age. Oh, I got this idea and I have this project and I have this thing that I want to do. And so I've created a system that helps to alleviate all of that, and I'm really excited to be able to announce it very soon. And we'll start selling this template, and I'll also be teaching you how to put together templates like this on our morning show. And so I'm really, really excited about it. To be honest, I'm most excited selfishly about being able to finally have my life organized, and I'm seeing everything kind of come together. It has just always been my project to be like, I'm getting organized. I want to organize this. I want to organize this. I love organization, and I didn't grow up with a lot of like organization. My life was a little bit kind of chaotic. My childhood was, and so I think I think I've always just been fascinated by people who can be very organized and can stay, you know, on the beaten path that they've charted for themselves. And I, I love looking at people's notebooks, and the notebooks are all like categorized and organized. And so I can teach you how to do that if that's something that interests you. That is definitely something that I will be talking about and discussing. And so if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Obviously we can talk at any time, but welcome all those on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, TikTok, on Twitch. Thanks for joining in today. It's really exciting to be here, and I'm excited that you all are dedicated to starting off your Monday early, and it is the will of the heavens that we meet together today, and it's truly a blessing. And so to start off, I would say to split your life up into these into at least 5 areas, or let's say at most 5 areas. If you get more than 5 areas, you'll sort of start to crumble. I think it's too many area buckets. And so the way to do this is, you start off today. I challenge you to write down 50 things. Write down 50 things at least. If you can do more, 100, great. But I would say write down 50 things that you need to do today. Or 50 things that are on your mind. Not things necessarily that you need to do today, but things that you would do, right? Planning time, hanging out with friends, hanging out with, feeding your cat, cleaning the house, creating that project that you wanted to create, all sorts of stuff like that. I would just write out everything that you need to do. Write out 50 things at the very least, because it's not going to work unless you have at least 50, right? And then if you think about it, that's 5 area buckets, right? If there's 5 area buckets, then that's at least 10 tasks or to-dos, or planning a dinner with friends, or that's at least 10 in each bucket. And so once you have that, then you'll take your 5 you'll take 5 markers or pens or some way of indicating. You have 5 symbols. If you're doing this on your phone, you can use emojis, right? 5 emojis. And don't worry about what category is what, and don't worry about naming them, because this is really what got me stuck. I'm like, wait, so am I like more of an actor? Am I more of this? Whatever. That doesn't matter. What you want to split up is you just want to denotate which ones are similar, right? Don't worry about so let's say it's like hanging out with friends and setting up a dinner with my wife, right? Those 2 things might be similar, so they might get the same color or symbol, and you're just going to want to annotate which ones are the most similar and which ones have the most most similarities, right? And then after you do that, you should start to be able to see the buckets of your life, the 5 buckets of your life. You'll say, okay, wait, these things all go together, and then these things all go together, and then these things are all like in the same world, right? And you're only sticking to 5. So now you can see like, wow, my life really is these 5 areas, and I don't really need more than that. And once you have those 5 areas, now you can name them. So now you can categorize. You could say, okay, this, based off of all these tasks that are in here, I'm going to label this life bucket creative, or I'm going to label this life bucket small businesses, or I'm going to label this life bucket fun and family, right? Whatever it is, it doesn't really matter the name, as long as it makes sense to you and it is split up enough that you can see like, okay, my life makes sense in these areas. Now, once you do that, I would do a full sweep of every single area of your life. with these five symbols, colors, whatever. I like to use colors because I feel like colors are pretty are pretty consistent across all different types of platforms, like organization platforms. They typically give you a bunch of colors that you can use to denotate which area is which. So for instance, in your calendar, then take those five colors and now apply them, create five different calendars based off of those life area buckets, right? You have your, for me, it's personal, creative, acting, producing, and fun, right? And so those are the my five area buckets, and I have those different colors. We have like a teal, red, purple, yellow, and green. And those are my five colors I use for everything. You'll see them across all my brand. You'll see them everywhere. If you go on my website right now, aceofalltrades.xyz, you'll see all of those colors. I use those colors everywhere. And it is important for me to stay consistent. I even have pens. So when I take notes, I have those five different color pens that I use. So if I'm writing acting notes, then I use a black pen, but then all of the annotations that I make on top of that would be in red or pink. And then I have another one, if I'm taking notes for a client, if I'm writing down notes for a client, then I write in black, but then my highlights would be in purple, and so on and so forth. And so I've completely organized my life in this way. I want to see if I have an example in a notebook. I don't have any of my notebooks here. Oh, yes, I do. So this is one of my notebooks, just so you can see what I mean. I actually probably have a better example in a different notebook. Yeah, because this is like my scratch book, but all right, so you can kind of see, right? Like I have all of these, like I have my notes here in black, but then my highlights are in a different color, and so essentially I do it everywhere. I use that system in every facet of my life, and I just have applied these colors. And so that's that's basically how you should just start, right? Just start there, do that, and see where those areas line up for you every week. Like just throughout the week for 7 days, just try out. Okay, like just start to see where those life area buckets are falling into place, and then what you would do is you'd prioritize them. And I have a system for how you'd prioritize them. We're not going to get into it today, but you prioritize them. And you say, okay, which is most important, which is least important, and then you use that rubric every time. You set the most important one as your default calendar. So whenever you tell your device to create a thing for you. We're organizing today, you guys. I got a question that we are organizing, and so sorry. We are so we're getting organized today. Sorry, guys. I just got a question. But the I would take those 5 areas and just look at them in every aspect of your life. And if you can, that's just the best way to pretty much stay organized, right? Because then you can start to see, you can just see where the things are falling into place in your life. Oh, wait, this is in the fun category. This is in the production category. I'm starting to see these areas, and maybe you can even have different notebooks. I like to use one notebook, but you just have these different areas, so you can just start to, that's just the best way to start to like compartmentalize. Okay, this is where I need this to be, and this is where I want this area of my life, and this is most important, so I'm going to focus more on this, or this is not getting as much love as I would like it to, and so I'm going to put this as my top priority. And then whenever those tasks come up, those are the ones that you do first, because that takes the top priority. So for me, it's personal. Anything to do with my health, wellness, I put those things at the top. Like, I don't care about my business, I don't care about fun, I don't care about anything else. Like, if this is personal for me, then I'm gonna put that at the top. That is what I should get done first. So I try to at least get one or two of those things done a day, and then I give myself room to get at least the other three done. I always try to do one fun thing a day as well. And so that's a great way to just start with organizing your life into sections, especially if you're a multifaceted creator, which I'm sure you are. You have plenty of ideas and things that you want to do, areas of your life. You want to start a YouTube channel, you want to create a life-changing product, and you want to continue in whatever career that you have, and you have all of these different ideas and hobbies that you want to continue with. So it is important that you that you take these steps to organize your life, and I'm here to help you do that every single day. So that's the next thing you do. So we start off, just to recap, we start off with writing down at least 50 things, 50 to 100 things that you do, that you want to do, that you're some goals, some tasks, whatever it is. Just write down 50 different items. We're going to label them, color code them, and we're going to say which ones. We're not going to name them yet. We're just going to use a different color, 5 different colors, and split them up into 5 sections. And once you split them, after you split them up into those 5 sections, then you see, okay, what would this category be called? What is all of these things in the yellow category? What is all these things in the pink category? What are all these things in the purple category? And you start to name them, and you come up with a naming structure. Okay, this is creative, right? So then we do that, we name them, and then after that you prioritize them. So you have these 5 areas that you've named, and you say which one is most important, which one is least important, and then you now you start to implement that into your calendar app. And I think you should have a calendar app. Everybody should use a calendar app. It's super important. Or I mean, I would say, writing down your calendar is a great calendar app as well. But as long as you have some way of managing your calendar, and seeing what you have coming up in the docket, and is a lot of times we like to rely on our brains, just like, oh yeah, I'll remember that, but it's not very likely. With how much this information age that we're in, it's very unlikely that you're going to remember every single thing that you have to do. So write it down, record it in some way. And I like to use Fantastical. I'm looking at switching to maybe another app, but that's the app that I use right now because it allows me to keep my reminders from my iOS reminders app in my calendar, so I can see it all together. I can see when I put a task in, it's not just a calendar item. I could see the tasks on there as well, which was kind of getting in my way of organizing. So you're gonna put all of your priorities, all your area buckets into your calendar app, and you're going to split it up in that way. And then I would even do it for something like your emails, right? So in your emails, typically you have an ability to flag them, and you can create different flag colors. So I know in Google and in Apple Mail, you can do this. I'm sure you can do it in Outlook. I've never used Outlook, but you're going to split up, you're going to create these different flags and put them into and basically create different little mailboxes with these colors, and you name them the same thing. And so whenever you get certain emails that pertain to a certain area of your life, I would just get into the habit of putting these things into that life area bucket, um, these emails. And so you're going to do the same thing with your emails. You're going to do the same thing with your notebooks. You're going to do the same thing with your journal. You're going to do the same thing with your calendar. Everywhere where you take notes, everywhere where you record ideas, this is going to be your new structure for organizing your life, because you have so many things that you're doing and you don't want to keep having to figure out which thing you are today and where you're putting your marbles and all of that. So we're going to take these 5 areas of your life and we're going to put them everywhere. We're just going to remind ourselves, this is what I am, this is what I do, this is my thing, right? These are my 5 areas, my things that I'm going to be focused on. And it's going to encompass everything that you do, because you've created this list of at least 50 to 100 things, and it's very unlikely that you're going to list 50 to 100 things and not get all the areas of your life that you think about consistently down, right? And so every new tasks that you create, or anything that you do, should now fall into this category, into one of these 5 categories. So you're gonna do that, and then after that, once you have labeled everything, then you're pretty much home free, right? You have now set up your life where you've begun to see the ways of organizing it. And then in our next class, we're going to talk a little bit about how to organize it, how I've organized this into Notion, which has been really, really helpful, because now I created databases for these things. And I've also created, I really want to show you, like, I've created this in my Google Drive as well. So I'll show you a brief bit about how I've done this in my Google Drive. If I can get to it, I have all these little windows in the way. So we're gonna go to Google Drive. I'm gonna go to my drive. I'm gonna open this up. Right. Okay, really quickly. Let me just pull this up for y'all so I can show you. All right. So I'm just gonna quickly show you how I've managed this. Oh, wait, what? Okay, so let me pull this up. So I've truly organized this everywhere. I've used this system for every single thing that I do, and it's no joke, right? Like, I really. So okay, that's y'all. Oops. Come on, man. There we go. All right, so you guys can see I have truly organized my life in these ways, and I've split it up. So I have my there we go, so y'all can see it. Make sure y'all can see. These are my colors, right? And so you can see my areas of my life. Did I pull it over? Are you guys able to see this? Raise your hand if you're able to see. Does it need to come over even more? Dang, how do I make Instagram see? I guess on Instagram it's just like not pulling over. That's annoying. I want y'all to be able to see it. Oh, there we go. There we go. Instagram can see now. All right. So basically, this is how I've split it up. I have these couple of different areas. I have my personal, got actor is split up into all these categories, and then I always label them. And we'll get into this another time, but I always label them with whatever it is at the top, right? As actor, business, I have all these different areas of business in here. Production, I have this split up into, photo shoots that I've done, right? Productions that I have going on. I have my music that is within the production category. Um, so I've basically organized everything, all of my files. I have life. This is fun and leisure, right? And so Ace Adventures. This is kind of how I've split up most of my photography, right? So I've found myself doing a lot of different events and stuff, and I really wanted to be able to organize and have my life um oops wait how do I okay, there we go. That's the better way. There we go. That's how Instagram can see. Yay. Okay, so yeah, so I really wanted to have my life organized and all my files, because as you can see, I have a lot of files. If we look at my Google Drive, I have about 6 terabytes, a little over 6 terabytes of footage of content, right? And so I was constantly getting stressed out about my content, about what I was creating, and it was really, really frustrating me. And so this became just my important thing. This is all I did in 2020. I just organized all of my files into these life buckets, and I finally got it down. I still have some more organizing to do, but at least at the very least, I can throw things into these 5 buckets, and then I can organize them later. But so I have Ace Adventures, and then I can go into here, because this is every single bit of photography that I've taken since 2011. And so I can go in here and say, okay, February, this was the performance that I did last week. And I can come here and pull up some of the photos, right? So this is the photos from the event, and I can easily just have that. So I can access that whenever. Let's say there's another performance that I did, let's say 2023, let's see, March. Let's go to King Dyslexic, right? We can look at these photos, right? And then there goes the photos from King Dyslexic, and they're all organized where they have the date, the biggest date first, so the year, month, and then and then the day within the month. So you have these year categories: A Shot 2023, A Shot 2020, right? We can go to 2020. We could say this was in quarantine, and so this was the whole quarantine folder. And I have all right, let's see what I did in July on the 5th of July. I had made this sandwich, I guess. And so I took pictures of the sandwich. But this is just a really easy way to, this is G on set. It was on set of a project. And so I can have that content as well. So it's really a good way to just keep things where they should be and organize. And I'm just excited to be able to offer this and help you all be able to do the same thing. So with that being said, let me go back to one. Oops. One? No. Primary. Going back to primary. Going back to this. All right. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. You guys, this has been great. I think I've talked your ear off about organization by now, but I'm really excited to be able to offer this as a service, and I think it's going to be really helpful. And I think that it's on the path to helping people ace their life, right? And so helping you to ace your life. And so that's kind of what I've discovered in these recent couple of days that I've just really been very very excited to do. It's the thing that keeps calling me, and so I'm deciding to not fight against it anymore, and I just want to help people stay organized. So Get Notion, just a quick recap. Organize your life by taking at least 100 things that you do, write a list of 100 things, break them up into 5 different colors, organize them by color, then you name those colors once you see how they're all the similarities, and then after you name the colors, then you implement those into your calendar, you prioritize them, and you just take a week to see how they fit into your life in every way. So with that being said, you guys, I got to catch a flight. I'm heading off to Dallas for SMU Giving Day tomorrow, which is super exciting. And so I will see you guys next week. I'm sure you guys, for all of you following me, you'll see whatever crazy antics I decide to post this week. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, it is a pleasure. And remember to always, always, always align yourself with truth, trust, and patience. And I promise you, you will ace your life. Peace out, y'all.